It's been a season unlike any other. Finally, two teams have made it to the end of the race, Super Bowl 55. Welcome into WIBW's Run It Back Chiefs Special, presented by Invista Credit Union, there in the moments that matter. I'm Marlia Campbell with Mitchell Summers.
Now, with COVID protocols and precautions at the forefront of the NFL's concerns all season long, teams took the field in front of limited or even no crowds since week 1 back in September. Last season, Kansas City beat the San Francisco 49ers in Super Bowl 54 in front of a legion of Chiefs fans. More than 62,000 people attended that game, Marlia.
This year, it's going to be roughly 1/3 of that. Raymond James Stadium in Tampa fits about 65,000 people. The NFL announced just 22,000 will be allowed inside for Super Bowl 55 to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. 7,500 of those watching will be vaccinated healthcare workers. The NFL invited them to the game free of charge to honor them and thank them for their tireless work throughout this pandemic and to promote vaccinations.
Now, the Chiefs won a franchise-best 14 regular season games this year, but that's not enough. In the words of Patrick Mahomes himself, we weren't talking about going to the Super Bowl. We're talking about winning again.
And before we go ahead and look ahead at that game, let's take a look back at the road to Tampa, a season we won't forget anytime soon.
And the Super Bowl 54 champion, Kansas City Chiefs!
Last year, it was a dream come true.
How about those Chiefs?
This year, the return was expected.
Y'all going to get y'all tickets, because y'all going to be in the same spot next year, all right?
But the journey there had to overcome a massive hurdle.
COVID's going to be with us for a while.
Getting back to the top required the Chiefs to first bring back the squad.
If there was ever a player that was truly deserving of the largest contract in U.S. sports history, it's definitely Pat Mahomes.
First, Mahomes got the mega deal. Then Chris Jones and Travis Kelce got paid. With the core group locked and loaded, it was time to unleash mayhem on the league. The Chiefs ripped through the regular season.
We're a hard offensive stop,
leading the NFL with 14 wins.
You know, I think we got a team that's really focused on football and focused on winning.
The team faced virtually no roadblocks until the postseason. Mahomes took a big hit. He tried to shake it off, but fell back to the ground, needing help to get off the field.
When somebody of his caliber and leader of the team go down, you all in shock.
In order to stay alive, KC needed a special play from someone not named Mahomes. In comes Chad Henne, pulling off a heroic sequence to ice the game.
You know, hats off to Chad, OG, triple OG, like I said before. Man, he came in and did what he had to do, simply just did his job.
In the week following, Mahomes quickly recovered from his injury. But up next was a conference championship bout against another elite team, the Buffalo Bills. Out of the gates, the Chiefs struggled. Down 9, KC had to fight back.
I think everybody has confidence that if we get behind, we've got enough power there to get it right.
But this team trailed in every playoff game a season ago. They were ready for this moment. In the end, it was a dominant win for the Chiefs.
get to have a chance to repeat and get to do it against the best. I mean, it's something special, and I'm excited for the opportunity.
And the Run It Back Tour made it to the biggest stage. Only one game's left to complete the journey.
What a season it's been so far. Now, one of the biggest headlines of this year's Super Bowl comes under center. Patrick Mahomes versus Tom Brady.
Now, Brady has played in an incredible 10 Super Bowls. To put that into perspective, that's 18% of all Super Bowls ever played, and Brady's been in it. Mahomes was just 6 years old when Brady won his first Super Bowl.
Now, the pair has met 4 times so far in the NFL, splitting those games with 2 wins apiece. All 4 of them were decided by a 1-possession margin. As we look ahead to their 5th meeting in Super Bowl 55, it's set to be a battle of the ages.
Being able to go up against one of the greatest, if not the greatest, quarterback of all time in his 150th Super Bowl, I mean, it's going to be a great experience for me.
Super Bowl 55 will be a war of the eras, the GOAT versus the kid. At just 25 years old, Chiefs superstar quarterback and reigning Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes chases his 2nd Lombardi trophy and has entered the conversation of eventually reaching Tom Brady status and perhaps one day surpassing it.
If there was a player who could do it, it would be Patrick.
43-year-old Brady isn't ready to pass the torch. In his first year not with the New England Patriots, he's led the 5th-seeded Buccaneers to football's pinnacle.
Experience doesn't matter. Playing well matters. The team that wins is not going to be the most experienced team. It's going to be the team that plays the best.
Mahomes is 6-1 in the postseason in his 3 short years starting in the league. His only loss went to none other than Tom Brady, then with the Patriots in overtime of the 2019 AFC title game. After the game, Brady pulled Mahomes aside for a private conversation as the young star left Arrowhead Stadium.
Kind of reemphasized that I was doing things the right way, that I was putting in the right work, and that I would have more opportunities to be in these games. And I've been lucky enough to be in 2 more of them since and win both of those.
I mean, he didn't need to do that. He is arguably the best quarterback ever to play the game, and he surely didn't have to come over and say a word. But he did that, and I think for a young quarterback to have somebody of his stature do that, I think was a tremendous gesture. It was just his respect for Pat, and then in return, Pat's respect for him.
That's exactly what this matchup is, the respect of the legend and the up-and-coming phenom.
Get to have a chance to repeat and get to do it against the best. I mean, it's something special, and I'm excited for the opportunity.
And by the way, the last quarterback to win back-to-back Super Bowls, you guessed it, Tom Brady, back in 2004 and 2005. And with the Super Bowl at Raymond James Stadium, the Bucs become the first team in NFL history to play the Super Bowl in their own home stadium.
Certainly a lot of history on the line, Marlia. Now, coming up after the break, we'll hear from the man behind the mic screaming, "Touchdown, Kansas City!" The voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holthus, is next.
Plus, K-State alum Byron Pringle will be stepping on football's biggest stage for the 2nd straight year. We'll hear from his college coach, the legendary Bill Snyder, right after this.
It's been a long time coming. You gotta fight for your right to party.
Well, there's certainly a lot of questions, but one that isn't a question at all. Travis Kelce is certainly a certified good time.
That's for sure.
Now, for every Patrick Mahomes touchdown, every Chris Jones sack, and every come-from-behind victory at Arrowhead Stadium, the voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holthus, is on the call, cementing that moment in Chiefs history.
And you'll hear his voice as the Chiefs take on the Bucs in Super Bowl 55. But first, we caught up with him on what goes into those moments behind the mic, capturing history as it happens.
It is my distinct pleasure to introduce to you the Super Bowl 54 champion, Kansas City Chiefs.
With every touchdown celebration, every win, and every trophy hoisted in the air, voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holthus, has the final word.
You know, I had planned what I was going to say at the end of the AFC Championship in Super Bowl 54, but there was still the extemporaneous nature involved there. So you almost have a template, but you've got to let your mind and heart and soul go with the moment to really do it correctly.
In his 27th season as Chiefs Kingdom's play-by-play personality, Holthus faces exciting uncharted waters, back-to-back trips to the world's biggest stage as the world's biggest voice.
A dream would be to do one of them and to win one of them. And then to have that happen last year and then to be right back in this game, it is kind of beyond any kind of dream that you would have or hope.
That unimaginable dream is now a reality. It's a moment he doesn't take lightly.
I mean, you're living these minute-by-minute historical moments. You feel the challenge of, man, you got to capture this just right. The words that you say, the pictures that you show, the work that you do needs to capture it, because a generation from now, you're sitting around talking to kids and grandkids and great-grandkids, and maybe you're in the near of your life going, you have to understand how amazing that time was. We're living it, and it's an incredible blessing to be living it.
Holthus has 2 degrees from Kansas State University, one in journalism, the other in business administration. But Mitchell, he's not the only Wildcat on his way to Tampa.
By no means is he. K-State alum Byron Pringle will take the field at the Super Bowl for the 2nd straight year. I caught up with his coach during his time in Manhattan, the legendary Bill Snyder.
Took over Mr. Kennedy, and he coached his dad.
Once again, the PowerCat logo is represented on the NFL's biggest stage.
I really love to see that, and the logo stood out. I'm awful proud of that.
And Byron Pringle, for the 2nd straight year, is a K-State product hoping to hoist another Super Bowl trophy.
I'm so proud of Byron. He's really made his way with Kansas City. I think they, feel very strongly about him right now, and he's been beneficial in so many ways. Byron's a good individual, and he represents Kansas State very well, so we're awful proud to have him there.
Pringle, in his second season on the active roster, has taken pride in his role on the squad.
He's learned to take advantage of every opportunity given to him. I mean, that's a strong value in life for any of us, is to be prepared. I mean, that's the key element. He doesn't wait until it happens. He prepares himself so that when the opportunity does arise, that he's going to do well.
The hope is that leads to another Wildcat hoisting a Lombardi trophy.
It makes me happy, makes me pleased, that they have been able to achieve the successes that they have achieved and handling it so very, very well in their own personal lives.
And great to hear from Coach Snyder. Well, coming up after the break, a lifelong Chiefs fan fighting an inoperable brain tumor got the surprise of a lifetime from Chiefs fullback Anthony Sherman. We'll show you the heartwarming surprise right after this. How cool is that? Now that Chiefs collection you just saw there belongs to Kurt Herman of Manhattan. It earned him an official world record certificate for the world's largest collection of Kansas City Chiefs related memorabilia.
I'm sure there's a lot of people around here pretty jealous of him. I don't want to steal a couple of those nuggets from him. But Chiefs Kingdom is full of passionate, lifelong fans. A Wamego native and K-State senior will be among the 22,000 in attendance at that Super Bowl this year.
He got the surprise of a lifetime when a Chiefs player punched his ticket to Tampa with 2 tickets to the big game.
I got a little buddy of mine. His name is Anthony Sherman. He plays fullback for the Chiefs, and he wants to give you 2 tickets.
You're lying right now.
No.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
So the Terminator wants to give me tickets?
21-year-old Jace Ward had no idea he'd be packing his bags for Tampa. His mom, Lisa, told him they were hopping on a Zoom call with a hospital to take an exit survey.
He has no idea.
Little did he know, CBS's Jay Feely was there to surprise him with 2 tickets to the Super Bowl from Chiefs fullback Anthony Sherman.
This is a dream come true for me.
In the spring of 2019, Jace began experiencing trouble with his vision after a car accident. Following an MRI and multiple rounds of tests, doctors diagnosed him with DIPG, an aggressive, inoperable brain tumor that affects a person's ability to walk, talk, use their hands, and swallow.
I asked the doctor very clearly. I was like, so how long do I have? He looked at my mom and made sure it was okay with her to tell me, but he said normally it's about 6 to 9 months.
Today, the K-State senior has more than doubled that. Thanks to 2 groundbreaking clinical trials, his tumor has shrunk by 25%.
I say this all the time, but now is a time more than ever that we should be hopeful in DIPG because there's a lot of new technology. The monster that we face is not dead yet. However, there's reason to be extremely hopeful for the future.
He'll celebrate 2 years this spring, a milestone just 5% of DIPG patients see. But before then, he has a trip to take and history to witness.
I cannot express how much it means to go to a Super Bowl as a lifelong Chiefs fan. I've probably watched over 100 games with my dad. And so going to like the big one, going to the Super Bowl, it's going to be so incredible.
And Jace did tell me he will be taking his dad with him to the Super Bowl. We wish them both so much fun in Tampa. Well, coming up later on in the show, we ask you to predict who wins the Super Bowl and what's the final score going to be. Plus, we'll ask 2 goats. Literally, we'll bring you that story from the Topeka Zoo.
But first, a Kansas couple loves the Chiefs almost as much as they love each other. The sweet story of taking the plunge and saying I do after last year's Super Bowl win is next.
Chiefs!
A year ago, the Chiefs brought home 1 ring, a Super Bowl ring. Soon after, a pair of Chiefs fans put on a second.
Now for the Riveras, their team and each other is all they needed.
Christmas present.
The Chiefs brought home the first ring.
He bought me the most beautiful pearl.
Jesse and Melissa tied the knot for the second.
It made what was already going to be a special day just incredible.
We got all our furnishings are all wrapped in cheese.
Way back when the Dallas Texans became the Kansas City Chiefs, Jesse was hooked.
When I was 3 years old, I remember the guys running around the field in the Chiefs, and I loved it, like, Len Dawson, all the guys back in the day, Otis Taylor, all them, yeah. But I grew up watching the Chiefs all my life.
Melissa, a slightly different story.
I've never liked football in my life.
But Jesse soon brought her into the kingdom.
I fell in love with this man, Kansas, and the Chiefs. And go figure.
The two were engaged back in 2017 and were waiting for the right moment to say I do.
And we won the Super Bowl. We the champs, baby.
To watch him that happy, it just lights up my face, my heart. This is the love of my life, and that's the team of the century.
After the Chiefs' first Super Bowl win in 50 years, it was time to tie the knot. The two headed to Las Vegas, decked out in Chiefs gear.
We celebrated the Super Bowl, and we got married, and that topped off the whole Super Bowl. The fact that we got married in Vegas, and we celebrated the Super Bowl and our wedding all at the same time in Vegas.
A year of happy marriage has passed. Meanwhile, KC is back in the Super Bowl. The Riveras are hoping to add another ring to their collection.
They win this time. We might go back to Vegas and party with the Chiefs and ourselves again.
And what better way to celebrate their anniversary than with another Super Bowl win? I like that idea.
That's right. It'd be pretty nice to add another ring to the collection. Now, after the break, the question we all want to answer: who will win Super Bowl 55? We'll hear what you think coming up.
Plus, Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady are often referred to as the GOATs, or the greatest of all time. Coming up after the break, we'll find out from two actual GOATs, the GOAT and the kid, which quarterback will come out on top in Tampa. The prediction from the Topeka Zoo is next.
We're part of Chiefs country and wanted to figure out who's going to win this game, the GOAT or the kid. We think that our GOATs picked it right and the kid's going to win this game.
Well, there you have it. As we prepare to see two GOATs on Sunday, our friends at the Topeka Zoo found it fitting to predict the game's winner between their GOAT, Millie, and their kid, Holly. As you can see, kid won, predicting, Mitchell, Chiefs victory.
That's the beauty of TV. We might as well not even play the game. They've got it right there. The kid won.
Already.
Right now, the Chiefs are a 3-point favorite to win the Super Bowl. We wanted to hear from you who you think will win and what do you think the score will be. Here's what some of you told us.
The Kansas City Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl 51-5.
The Chiefs are going to win. I think the score is 42-35.
The Kansas City Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. They're going to win 52-37.
Well, the Chiefs are going to win, of course. Predicted score, I think it's going to be a tough match, so I don't know.
We know that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl, and it doesn't matter what the score is as long as the one the Chiefs have is higher than the other guys.
The Chiefs are going to win, and hopefully by a lot.
The Kansas City Chiefs are going to win this Super Bowl, and they are going to win it 56-48. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. The score is going to be 27 Chiefs, 24 Buccaneers. The Chiefs, of course, 27-23.
Chiefs, 35-21.
The Chiefs are going to win, and the score will be 42-21.
I have absolutely no idea, but we'll wait and see. I'm not very good at predicting ball games, never have been. I'd lose a lot of money in Las Vegas betting on ball games.
Well, that is all the time for us on our Run It Back special presented by Invista Credit Union, there in the moments that matter. But before we go, we want to remind you that you can watch the Super Bowl this Sunday here and only here on WIBW. Kickoff is at 5:40. Pre-game coverage begins at 5 o'clock, so be sure to tune in then for everything you need to know, 5:30 rather, prior to the big game. And of course, be sure to stick around with us on the late news on WIBW, where we'll hear from Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and all of your favorite Chiefs players on our evening newscast. Thanks so much for joining us. With Mitchell Summers, I'm Marlia Campbell. We'll see you Sunday, Chiefs Kingdom.